was on reducing the weight of the sports car. It had an aluminum body shell, the boot lid was made of steel and plastic, roof system was magnesium combined with plastic. Again, the core focus being weight reduction, super light. Coming to the present, how do you reinterpret a legend that has always represented the dream of freedom? And I would say by remaining as faithful as possible to also the original concept and combining it with technological avant-garde. The new Mercedes-AMG SL carries the distinction and a huge responsibility to live to its glorious past. But looking at this car, I can only say, and we are convinced that the star is reborn. I would now like to invite my colleague Lance. No better than him. He's not only a passionate Mercedes guy, he's also passionate AMG and more passionate about SL. So I think, Lance, over to you. Please come join and share about the new SL with all our friends here.
Thank you, Santosh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The SL is an icon of our brand and has stood for automotive fascination and desire for almost 70 years. You'll find this special fascination in every little detail of our newly designed Roadster. For the SL enthusiast amongst us, you'll recognize we've gone back to the roots, incorporating characteristics from previous generations, such as the long bonnet with power bulges, which echo back to the original 1952 300 SL. Up front, we have the iconic AMG grille, which features 14 vertical chrome slats, just like the original SL. The headlights are sleek and sharp, featuring AMG's signature torch, daytime running lights, and LED high-performance headlamps as standard equipment. Either side of the lower air dam are large air intakes, with jet-like fins painted in black. From the side, you can appreciate the sporty proportions, the long bonnet, short overhangs, and large wheel arches. We have a sleek 20-inch wheel as standard equipment. However, the car on screen features the optional 21-inch design. The huge AMG 6-piston caliber brakes can either be ordered in red or yellow, depending on how you'd like to customize the car. Also available are the optional ceramic brakes, which reduce unsprung weight and further increase stopping power until under extreme conditions like when you're on the track. Enthusiasts will be happy to know that we've gone back to a soft top roof. The new soft top roof is 21 kilos lighter than the Varia roof from the previous generation. It's available in 3 colors: black, gray, and red. The electronically activated roof can be deployed up to 60 kilometers per hour and takes 15 seconds to open or close. The sporty look is defined by a low-profile greenhouse. The A-pillar is always painted black and makes the car look very agile. For optimal aerodynamics, we've integrated flush-mounted door handles, which provide a clean and elegant design language. Complementing the black A-pillars are black door mirrors as well as prominent black side skirts. The elegant rear end features sleek and sporty LED tail lamps. Integrated into the trunk lid is a retractable spoiler which deploys automatically above 100 kilometers per hour. The spoiler provides active aerodynamics with 4 set positions to maximize downforce when required. The rear is finished with a huge rear diffuser to increase downforce, complemented by the signature quad AMG exhaust pipes. The new SL is more than just a successor with the addition of the first 300 SL into the modern era. Fine materials, meticulous workmanship, and attention to detail further underscore the highly luxurious standard in the interior. When you sit in the SL, you're presented with the Mercedes-AMG steering wheel, which is wrapped in a combination of high-grade Nappa leather and microfiber. On the bottom of the steering wheel are digital controls which allow the driver to adjust the dynamic setup of the car, such as suspension, exhaust, throttle response, and gear change, without completely removing your hands from the steering wheel. Inspired inspiration continues in the cockpit with turbine-shaped air vents which distinguish the interior styling. The cockpit design, right down to the adjustable central display, is focused on the driver. This display tilts between 12 and 32 degrees to avoid reflection, which is especially important when the roof is down. The driver's instrument cluster features a high-resolution 12.3-inch LCD screen, which is wrapped in an integrated high-tech visor. This not only looks stylish, but it serves a practical purpose of shielding the screen and preventing reflections caused by sunlight. We've provided customers with the choice of sporty, multicolour contour seats, or at no additional cost, our AMG Performance seat, which provide more support whilst cornering at high speeds. Several different trims and colour combinations are available, from single or two-tone Napa leather, diamond stitching, or the sporty combination of Napa leather with Dynamica Race microfiber, with contrasting top stitching in red or yellow. Again, like previous generations, we have reintroduced the 2+2 seating design, which allows passengers up to 1.5 meters to travel in the rear, or provides additional storage for those long journeys. The new soft top is constructed with 3 layers and includes an integrated acoustic mat that provides high levels of insulation from the elements and impressive external noise suppression. With the optional Burmester high-end 3D surround sound system with Dolby Atmos technology, the Roadster gets 17 high-performance speakers that punch out an impressive 1,220 watts. Innovative actuator technology creates 3-dimensional sound via the roof. With the VIP settings, you can find the perfect listening position as if you were in your own living room with customizable sound patterns which can be adjusted according to your own taste and music style. Relaxed, safe, and well protected on the road, the Roadster owner benefits from the many supportive and stress-relieving advantages of various safety systems that come standard with the SL55. These systems support you as the situation requires, warning you if there is a risk of collision and intervening if necessary for the benefit of all road users. Comfort and peace of mind until you reach your destination. This car was built for maximum luxury, but it was also built for maximum performance. The secret of the 1952 300 SL was the superlight construction. The original SL had a space frame construction like an aeroplane, which was unique for its time. The new SL chassis has been completely redesigned from scratch to provide maximum strength and torsion rigidity. A mix of high-tension steel, magnesium, fiber composites, and aluminium combined to create a high-performing, lightweight chassis, which is true to the SL concept. At the heart of this new vehicle is the 4-litre bi-turbo V8, producing 476 horsepower, which is 350 kilowatts, and 700 newton-meters of torque. This propels the SL to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.9 seconds. The vehicle also has a top speed of 295 kilometers per hour. Like every AMG, this 8-cylinder is carefully created according to the legendary principle of one man, one engine. Also, for the first time, SL offers rear axle steering. It turns the rear wheels up to 2.5 degrees, which improves agility at lower speed and stability at higher speed. For the first time, the SL comes with a fully variable 4MATIC plus all-wheel drive system. This system provides optimal traction in conditions with its intelligent variable torque distribution. With the optional AMG Active Ride Control, the SL gives you amazing command of the road in any situation. This new suspension system reduces body roll thanks to constant adaptive adjustment. It also lets you better experience the different driving styles from very comfortable to extremely sporty. For those customers that need a little more ground clearance, the AMG Active Drive Control also provides a front axle lift function which raises the front by 30 millimeters and automatically lowers it when you reach 40 kilometers an hour. It can also be programmed to lift automatically via GPS. The new space concept allows for even more storage in the back. We now offer 240 litres of trunk space, which provides plenty of room for a golf bag or luggage for a weekend getaway. With over 8 different paint options, 5 seat and upholstery options, 2 trims, 13 package options, 4 alloys, 3 soft tops, and 2 different brake caliber options, there is more than 24,000 different combinations, which allows our customers to create their own bespoke and unique vehicle. Thank you for your time, and I'd now like to hand back to Sophie, and she's got some more exciting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lance, for all of that, and you're absolutely right. We do have something very special and very exciting, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we've all witnessed many iconic shows, but today, Mercedes-Benz has planned a never-seen-before showcase for you all. This is the SL Walk. So brace yourselves as different generations of SL drive the ramp today. Now, I'm going to request you all to remain seated exactly where you are, because believe it or not, the cars will come to you. I can hear the engines. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Coming up first is the W121 190 SL, sporting elegance, safety, and comfort. With these qualities, the 190 SL conquered a whole new circle of enthusiastic fans of dynamic driving. Now, when the Pagoda arrived in 1963, it had a huge role to play in the future of Mercedes-Benz's luxury and sports car program. SL, the head turner of the 1970s and even today. Comes the 129 500 SL. R230 pre-facelift SL500. And now it's followed by the R230 facelift SL350. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but this is by far the coolest ramp walk that I have ever seen. It is magnificent. Well, the new SL, which is being launched by Mercedes-Benz today, has even stronger roots to the origins of the Mercedes-Benz legend than its predecessors. And at the same time, it's a new way into the future. The star is Reborn, which is the new SL's motto, heralds a rebirth, making it sportier, more luxurious, and more appealing than ever before. So, ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you the AMG SL 55 4MATIC Plus.
We've been hearing rumors about German engineers working on a completely new race car, a car inspired by the structures of airplanes.
The secret of this new two-seater is its super-light construction.
They call it the SL.
Fierce competition is expected. 3 Mercedes entered for the race are odds-on favorites.
Mercedes are ahead of anyone else. A certain German victory is the rare stroke of genius. A dramatic debut for one of the great cars of history.
And now the very successful light race car has become a car sought after by celebrities, a star among stars.
The legend of Mercedes continues with the new SL.
Hohe technische Reife als Ergebnis jahrelanger Entwicklungsarbeit.
This is the stuff dreams are made of. For almost 70 years, the SL has been an object of desire for the world over. A true icon. Are you ready for a new star?
ladies and gentlemen, the AMG SL 55 4MATIC Plus. I'm going to request all the media and photographers to make their way over to the blue car. Lance, Zoya, thank you for joining us all over there. And if you take your positions, I mean, with Zoya and Farhan here, it sounds ridiculous for me to direct this, but if you could all look left. And center. And now everyone to your right, please. Yes, guys, get that perfect shot. And can I ask you guys to come up front? If you all move up front. Thank you. You can see those beaming faces. I mean, this is an amazing shot, and that really is a beauty. Thank you, everyone. Now, the demand for pictures will never end, but we do have yet another magnificent beauty on the other side of the stage, so I'm going to ask everybody to make their way across. If everybody could make their way to the other side of the stage, please. And I'm going to ask Lance and Zoya to go on to the other side. Thank you. I'm going to ask you all to look left first so that we have everyone looking in the same place. Okay, go right. And would you like to come up front again, as you did before? Just want to make sure you all get the perfect pictures that you all want. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Hope you all got that perfect shot. Lance, thank you so much. I'm going to ask you to take your seat, and I'm going to ask Santosh, Farhan, and Zoya to remain on stage because we're going to do something fun. Now, of course, cars are an integral part of movies and pop culture. Yes, if you could go and take your seat there. Thank you. If I can ask all the photographers to take a step down. Lovely. Well, today we're here with two directors who represent the aspirations and dreams of the Indian youth on the silver screen. And of course, we have Santosh Iyer, MD and CEO of Mercedes-Benz, a company which has had its pulse on the youth for more than a century. I don't think I know a better trio to discuss the evolving affinities of the youth in India. So Santosh, you're actually stealing my job today, but I hear you have some really fun questions for Zoya and Farhan, so take it away.
Thanks, Sophie. I will surely try to do my best. Thanks, Zoya, Farhan, for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
No, I'm sure the audience is excited to see both of you here. We had an iconic car right when they came in, which was featuring in a movie where you had a contribution, which is Dil Chahta Hai as such, and these cars featured there. But in general, Mercedes-Benz and movies, music go a long way in history. And we have been in the center of attraction, a very aspirational brand. And also we have seen in our history of 130 years, 138 years, there's a lot changing in art, cinema, youth, a lot of society getting progressive. But one thing which we feel, and I'm sure the audience here and also you would agree, is the aspiration and the desire for the three-pointed star has remained constant. And whether it's Janis Joplin's song saying, "Oh God, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz?" Or very recently, I saw this movie Air, where Michael Jordan, before he wanted to sign this contract, was very clear that he wanted a red SL as part of the contract. So I think the brand has played a role, and in this context, it would be my privilege to know your thoughts, both of you, because you play a very different role. Farhan, in the last 2 decades, your cinema has resonated with the country. You started with Dil Chahta Hai, then you, to the stream, Rock On, Dawn, Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, and each one of them had something different and a changing face of Indian youth. So what inspires you to take up these subjects? How do you capture this?
Thank you, Santosh. Firstly, thank you again for having me and Zoya here. This is absolutely a wonderful occasion, the launch of this amazing, amazing, beautiful machine, this beautiful car. Really happy to be here, to see it firsthand for myself, and to have you drive me up onto stage in it is like a cherry on top. As far as work goes, I think, what's really important is, as a filmmaker, you have to stay curious. You have to stay with your finger on the pulse of what's going on. Our society is changing, evolving continuously. The youth is becoming more and more their own person. We're a very young country. The population of this country is hugely below the age of 30. So those are the people that we like to reach out to with our films, because we can understand what it is that they want out of life, what their emotional issues might be, what their financial issues might be. So we try and speak to them. So, and of course, you don't want to be preachy, you want to be entertaining. The films that you mentioned, they all are films that have been designed, of course, to entertain the audience, but at the same time have something for the youth of this country to kind of take back and think about.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then coming to you, Zoya, even your creations are very youth-focused. You told the story of youth across spectrums, Luck by Chance, Gully Boy, also young tycoons in Dil Ladakne Do. So how do you form the crux of these youthful characters? What makes you choose characters which are so vivid and leave a deep impression among the audience?
They say that every filmmaker somehow goes back to some theme. A lot of filmmakers have a recurring theme in their films, and I think with me it's been coming of age. I've realized it a couple of movies in. For some reason, whatever the film is, it's a coming of age story. There was a very deep impact made on me by youth films when I was growing up. Those are some of my favorite films that have stayed with me, and I think somehow I just address that section of society with whatever I'm doing. And I don't know, I don't think I've grown up. It's the Peter Pan syndrome somewhere.
Yeah, but also your movies are very breaking the stereotypes. You also give a lot of emphasis on women characters in your film. Be it Dil Dhadakne Do, Made in Heaven, also your upcoming project, Jeele, I think it's Jeele Zara, right? There. So how do you again choose characterization? Because you really pick up characters which resonate. What's the secret formula you have?
As writers, I think Farhan, me, even our co-writer Reema Kakti, you want characters to not be cardboard. You want them to be persons. You want them to be people. And I think a lot of it comes from who you are. A lot of it comes from what you studied. I've studied literature and sociology, and I think that kind of informs my writing. A lot comes from what you read in the paper and what society reflects to you, and people around you, observation. And you want the women in, at least it's very, very important for us that the women we put out into our narratives are complete people, you know, with agency, with a mind, with choices, with options, with lives that are rich and layered. So I just think that you strive to be a better writer, you'll just write better characters.
No, nice. See, we also see a trend now in our segment, you know, more women not only buying cars, but also driving cars. And they are also preferring larger SUVs or these fancy cars, which we couldn't see some time back because it was more male-dominated decision. Also, when it comes to buying cars, even when women come to our, our partners, they are very much involved. Even if anybody is buying, so they make a very important role in the decision making in the household, etc. So now, what we try to see is also how this shift will go further in India. How do you see women emerging, in the Indian society? You think still we have some way to cover, or you think the transformation is happening rapidly in?
I think the transformation has started, and I don't think there's you can turn back the clock now. The gates have opened. I think women are, Indian women are unique. They are extremely special beings, I think. They are also suddenly getting independent. They're educated, they're independent, they're fiscally independent, they're making their own money. And the minute you're financially independent, you will make choices, you know, about your life and about the vehicle you drive in. So it's not going to change. It's going to just get better.
That's nice. And coming to you, cars, Farhan, what roles do cars play in your life? And tell us a bit about your choice, preferences of automobiles.
You know, I've been obsessed with cars ever since I was a child. In my room, whatever magazine and whatever ad of a car that I could get my hand on, I used to cut it out and stick it on my wall. So I was always only there on the trip to Goa and back, right? Everyone associates that film so much with that road trip because of the sense of freedom that that car provides to the three characters in that film. And that represents them, that they're free-spirited characters, and the car kind of encapsulated that. But at that point, I must tell you honestly, I couldn't afford that car. You know, it was just a car that we could get in to shoot for the film and then had to very tearfully send it back. But I always had this desire to buy a Mercedes because I felt to me that that was the epitome of engineering, the epitome of sophistication, and the epitome of cool. You know, all three combined. So the minute I could afford it, I bought a Mercedes. I still have a GLS. I drive around in that. It's absolutely fantastic. So I've always been into it. My daughters and my wife keep asking me what it is about cars, and I say, I can't explain it to you. You know, just born with it in your DNA. So that's really what it is.
That's nice to know. And Zoya, we touched upon this topic on casting and your expertise in casting, which you also said comes a bit from your educational background and your observation that you're doing. But when we have these legendary cars, and how do you see Mercedes-Benz fitting into your movies? How would you describe Mercedes-Benz in your movies if you have to cast these cars?
I mean, for me, a Merc is something I would use for a character that's very elegant. I would use for a character that's chic. I would use for a character that comes from, that is not flashy or gauche or nouveau. It spells class to me, Merc. So I would use it, I would cast it in that way, and I would also like to come to my set in one. That's how it would fit into my movie.
Nice. Right, I would probably, excuse me, add to that, which is that depending on which Merc you're talking about, which Mercedes you're talking about, because if you take one of those old beautiful vintage ones that you can see out there, that is a completely different kind of character. You know, a character who truly treasures things from the past. And there's a certain sense of rebellion in those cars. You know, when you see those beautiful vintage cars, I mean, I can't help but like just kind of want to immediately go off on a road trip with my friends and just forget about everything else. So a collector, you know, if you talk to any collector in the world, to them, finding a Mercedes in some kind of pristine form anywhere in the world is absolutely a delight and absolutely a joy.
So that's great. I was presenting and I said that some of these cars are now in exceeding 1 million euros, 2 million euros to find out even in the international market. So I think, yeah, lots, I think the aspiration and the desirability comes from the legacy and the heritage also of these brands.
But can I ask you, Santosh, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
We've been speaking about the youth. You've asked us questions, but I would like to ask you, because it is there's no doubt in any of our minds and all the people here that there is an like an intrinsic desirability that the youth has, for the Mercedes. Looking at it from the other side, from the company side, can you maybe share with us, or with Zoya and me at least, what is it that you think about this brand that creates such a strong aspiration for the youth?
I think that's a great question, and for me personally, I visit this museum. We have a Mercedes-Benz museum in Stuttgart where we tell the stories. But this brand decided on a different path. We invented the car and we are inventing it again. But when we invented the car, the founding forefathers said that we will not go into making more and more cars. There are American companies who made more cars. But we said we will make the cars better each day. So that spirit of innovation, spirit of changing, and also the timeless design. So many of these cars now that we have put up here, you can find some threads on the design which is consistent. And that's something what makes the car desirable. The brand itself also has a lot of stories. We had this aspiration. I mentioned about Janis Joplin's song to, featuring in movies. Even today, if I look at, there are certain games with Gran Turismo 5, for example, has Mercedes-Benz car. So as a child, when you are there, you are growing up to those gaming consoles, you want those cars, be it in a Justice League, for example, you slowly build affinity and aspiration. And also it's about the stories. A story as Sophie today morning when she came in here, she said, Santosh, Lance, I'm very happy. I said, why? And as she mentioned in her introduction, my dad bought me home in an SL. So, these stories is what makes the brand so desirable, and people have memories. And I think with every generation, we are able to create new stories, and I am sure these cars reflect, the changing trends as well. What do you think?
I mean, in terms of the Merc and pop culture, I think it's always been there. It is in, everyone has some Mercedes story. Either the first one they bought, or the one that they will buy when they can, or the one that they have pinned up. Everyone has a story. I think it's a part of it's iconic. It's a part of everyone's consciousness. If you're interested in cars, there's no way you're missing this one.
Well, that's insightful discussions. I don't want to continue. We can keep on chatting, but my final question. We are on a car launch. The expert on youth and the entire insights. What do you think of the new AMG SL55?
I mean, I want to know that if I have to gift it to Farhan on his birthday, how much would that cost me? What would be my damage?
Well, these are collectors, so price is secondary, but yes, there has to be a price tag. And the price of the AMG SL55 starts at 2.35 crores in India. So that's a perfect birthday gift if you're planning.
Which is nothing for a loving sister to give her brother.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's been great, Farhan, Zoya. Thanks a lot for joining us. Thanks for sharing really some insights. I'm sure our media friends and of course many watching live would have loved the interactions and would have gained some insights on your filmmaking, on your insights on youth. And we are looking forward for your next movies.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you, everyone.
Thank you for that.
And I hand it over to Sophie.
Yes, I'm back, and I just want to thank you, Santosh, Zoya, and Farhan. Thank you so much for being here, for that fun chat, and for making this launch so very special. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here for the launch of the AMG SL55. We've got two cars on stage, as you can see, and we have one at the Lineage Walk. So there are three cars that you can all... Ek second, ruk jao baba, wo aayenge wapis. And another car is parked to the Lineage Walk, so there's lots of places for you to do all the pictures that you need. Now, many generations of SL are available at the venue for you to shoot, as you can see. And please don't forget to pose with your squad and the Dil Chahta Hai car at the entrance. Thank you so much for being here, and do join us for lunch, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again.